Previously, we learned about the meaning of a semi-formal letter, and we identified the meaning as a letter written to adults that are known to us, such as our fathers, mothers, uncles, aunties, and also adults who are not known to us, who live outside, such as pen friends. And we also identified part of a semi-formal letter, such as they were the same as the informal letter. The address, the date, the body or the message, etc. In this lesson, we shall be looking at an example of a question of a semi-formal letter. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to be able to identify an example of a semi-formal letter. Now let us identify an example of a semi-formal letter. Write a letter to your uncle, telling him 3 things you will need in your learning at school. Write a letter to your uncle telling him 3 things you will need in your learning at school. Previously, in the informal letter, the ways in which a letter is written or an informal letter is written, the part of an informal letter is the same as the part of a semi-formal letter. Now, when a question like this is given to you, the first thing to do is to identify what type of composition is this, as I said earlier on in the informal letter. So, what type of composition is this? Semi-formal letter. So the first one is the type of composition or essay. The next thing is the parts or the features. Then the third one is the content, as I told you earlier on. That is the topic, what the question is requesting for. So this is my page. This is my page again. Write a letter to your uncle telling him 3 things you will need in your learning at school. So the first thing you have to identify is the content. What is the question asking you to do? The question is requesting for things you will need in your learning. So you write it somewhere so that you can explain them when writing the letter. The first thing is textbook. You need a textbook to learn. The next thing is you need school uniforms. School uniforms. And also you also need computer to learn. You need a computer. Very good. There are so many things that we need at school, but these are those we have identified. Then the next thing is that you go to the page, then you write your address. So this is my address. I can write the same thing, assume MA Basic School, P.O. Box, 1030, Wager, Accra. Then you write the date, 20th March 2021. Very good. Then you, after writing this, you just come to the salutation. Dear Uncle Kwame, comma, very good. Then after that, you come to the body. The body of the message contains the introduction and the message itself. So how do you introduce it? You introduce it by saying, I am glad to write you this letter. So you just write a paragraph here. I am glad to write you this letter. Very good. After that, then you indicate the reason why you are writing the letter. The reason why I'm writing you this letter is to identify the things that I will need in my learning at school. Then you identify the textbook. Then you have to explain why you need a textbook. Because there are so many subjects: English language, mathematics, integrated science, and various subjects. So you have to explain using the subjects. Then the next thing is the school uniforms. You also explain the reason why you need the school uniforms, so that when one gets torn, you can use the other one. Because the teachers in the school requires that a student becomes clean every day. Then the next one is computer. The computer also will help me to learn, to find and search difficult answers to topics and questions using the internet. After writing all these things, then you write your subscription. So, yours faithfully, you write Emmanuel. You can write your full name because it is going to your uncle, so that your uncle will identify the person who is writing. He is not your friend. Very good. So far, we have identified an example of a semi-formal letter. We identified an example of a semi-formal letter. And we also looked at the part of the semi-formal letter. In the next lesson, we shall be looking at formal letters. See you in the next lesson.